Hey, so welcome to today's video where I'm going to be talking all about group therapy for social anxiety, why it would be beneficial for you, and the underlying science of what makes it so powerful. Okay, so you don't want to miss this. Let's talk about this right now. Let's dive right in. So before we talk about the solution, let's define the problem to make sure we're on the same page. So social anxiety, let's define it. What I help specifically my students with. Social anxiety, the fear of being judged and evaluated negatively by other people, okay? But it's not just this little bit of nervousness. It's like the fear of being humiliated, the fear of being judged is so bad. You're in a one-on-one conversation and your mind's going completely blank and you're panicking because you don't know what to say next. Or you're feeling so triggered when you go into a group. You're so triggered, you're in your head that you're feeling depersonalized. You're feeling completely disconnected, okay? Or your fear of being humiliated is so bad that when you speak in front of other people, your mind goes blank, you're getting heart palpitations, and your voice is just shaking uncontrollably. You start to just stutter and panic when you speak in front of people. So this is the social anxiety I'm talking about. Not a little bit of shyness or nervousness where you can push through it, okay? So that is how we're going to define what the problem is, and now let's start solutioning for it, okay? And so one of the heavy burdens that you carry as a result of having social anxiety is shame about it. Shame that you even have the condition, shame that you even suffer from it. So it's like you can't even connect with people. This condition, it stops you from even connecting with people, physically stops you. It physically blanks out your mind. When you try to talk, it makes your voice shake. It physically stops you from doing that. And when you experience that, you will carry shame about it. What's wrong with me? You don't even feel normal. You can't even do, just such a normal and natural thing that other people do. You can't do it. And so it makes you feel defective, fundamentally flawed. And shame is the most potent emotion you can have. Just a drop of shame can send somebody down a path that sometimes they just never make it out of. It is a very, very serious emotion that you need to handle with absolute care and compassion. Nothing tarnishes the soul like shame. And as if the anxiety wasn't bad enough, you have the anxiety, you have the physical symptoms, you have the anxiety attacks, but this is a whole nother layer on top of the anxiety. The shame will actually make you disconnect from people, isolate from people, and think that you are inherently different than everybody else. That's how powerful shame is. It's a whole nother layer. It's a whole nother beast on top of the anxiety already. And that's one of the reasons group therapy is so powerful, because you get to listen to other people's stories. They share their experience on a much deeper level than if you're going out to parties or hanging out in groups of friends where they don't go too deep. You get to hear on a raw, deep level people's heartaches, what they've been through, where they're at now. And as you listen to them share their story, you see yourself in their story. So do you see when you're able to see yourself in somebody else's story, it shows that you're not fundamentally flawed. Other people have the same struggles as you. You're not an inherently bad person. You're not inherently different than everybody else. There's people there who are sharing a similar struggle with you. And that's extremely important, because when you feel that empathy, when you feel that connection with other people with similar story, similar challenge, that lifts so much shame just by you sitting there. Think about it. If you start telling your story and you get a bunch of people just nodding because they understand you, they just get it. Little things like this, like you tell your story, what you've been through, and they go, and they start nodding, right? They get it, change in their breath. They're nodding, their body just gets you. It creates this sense of belonging. This sense of belonging is absolutely crucial for you to have a full recovery from social anxiety. Now you have to be careful here because some groups can make you worse off than if you were suffering alone. I'll give you an example. There are a lot of forums and places where people meet up to talk about social anxiety, but they're too focused on the problem, venting, complaining about this condition. And when you're really stuck in that type of energy, in that group dynamic, and you don't see any hope for a full recovery, this becomes your norm. It becomes normal to vent, complain, believe that there's no hope, believe that you can't get better. And I get it. This is not from a place of judgment. They haven't found the proper help. But if you join in on that energy, you're gonna take on that perspective as well. So you have to be very careful. This is why the values of the group become extremely, extremely important, something that you have to keep in mind here. So when you're a part of a group, you start to adopt their belief systems, their values subliminally. This is kind of under the radar. Just by you being in the group and absorbing their energy, absorbing their information, you're going to change just by being in the group. And I'll give you an example here of why the values are so important, because let's say you want to lose weight. Okay, so you join this fitness group. So let's say you're overweight, like some people out there. We won't mention any names, no names mentioned. So like those people out there, let's say you join this group, right? So you join this group and they're all about looking good. They can get you to look a certain way. Look good, feel good. That's their motto, okay? That's their value. Look good, feel good no matter what, at all costs. But they don't value the emotional side. They don't value that you need to also feel good on the inside. And so they push you and they grind you and they start shaming you, and you can end up feeling worse about yourself. So if they're constantly shaming you, putting you down for not training super hard, that can be extremely toxic, and you can feel worse as a result of being in that group. Now, let's say though, you join another group, same thing. They're all about, looking good, feeling good, but they also value the emotional side. So they also value the fact that you can sometimes take a break, be gentle with yourself, stay fit, work hard, grind, but all in balance with good emotions, positive self-talk, all these different things. Do you see how the value system is different? And if you're constantly working consistently with that group, with the values that align, you will transform in a way that's not possible by yourself. Think about it. They're motivating you. They're holding you accountable. They're showing you what's possible. Even best cases, there's a mentor in the group who's already undergone that transformation that you want to make for yourself. He's already standing in the place where you want to get to, and he knows the exact process to get you there. That is the best case scenario. And the same goes with social anxiety. So it's best to join a group that has those values. Values like being the absolute best version of yourself, continuous improvement, being authentic, giving back, setting and achieving your goals and holding you accountable for that. Those are the best groups. And sometimes I understand it's hard to find groups that are dedicated fully to social anxiety. We have a mentorship program. It's dedicated fully to social anxiety. But if you don't have access to that, that's totally fine. You could find something in your area. You could find it online. As long as it's geared towards mental health, okay? So people battling more with mental health issues. For example, just make sure the group they share in a non-judgmental way. It's a safe container, really important. They're pushing for improvement. They're not just staying in the problem. they're focused on the solution, they're pushing for improvement, and you can see other people in further along the process. There's people in there that are showing you what's possible to get through or what to get to. Extremely important. Because there's something about groups that there's a group cohesion, there's like this mastermind energy. It's a lot more powerful than just the sum of the individuals. And you think about it like this, people who come, say, maybe from strong families. I didn't come from that, but a strong, cohesive family. They're so much more confident about going after things because they know they have the support behind the scenes. And the same goes for your social anxiety. Have that safe, supportive, empowering container behind you, backing you up. And hey, I'd love to be a part of your support system. So if you need more support, you can follow me on Instagram. I post daily content, inspiration, and tips to move you further, keep you motivated on your way to being anxiety-free. And if you need more support than that, then you can join our Facebook group. The whole thing is dedicated to social anxiety. So I encourage you to join the group. Like I was saying before, you will see people talking about their challenges. You'll be able to see yourselves in their stories and what they're going through. And you can share as well. I'm in there, you can ask me questions, get my guidance closer along the way. And I'd love to see you in there. So thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. All right, see you later.